Hello, rhetoric students. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick overview of week 4. What you're going to notice, so we're back to guided notes, and we're going to go back and forth for a while to help you, to give you some time to work with the ideas across 2 weeks instead of just one. So in week 4, we're focused on the Middle Ages, Augustine and Scholasticism. Augustine, it's the same thing. Either way, if you are closely affiliated with the church, especially a Catholic or Roman Catholic church, it would be Saint Augustine, same person. There's really no right or wrong way to do it, so we'll just go with a little pronunciation lesson for fun. So Augustine in Scholasticism and Renaissance humanism. Across all three of these, because we're really dealing with the same time period, but we are dealing with a good 1500 year time period. What you're going to notice in the notes, especially the Scholasticism and the humanism, the book covers a lot of names. Do I want you to read that? Yes. Do you have epic notes on each of those names? Are you going to have to regurgitate name or date? Never. Those aren't the pieces that matter to me. What we're looking for with all of these and what we're going for is, what is it about the time period? What's going on politically and socially, because we're dealing with politics. What is the government? What is the government and how people are governed look like? And then how does that impact society and how society forms, and vice versa? The ways that society forms, especially in the Middle Ages when we're dealing with plagues and horrible sanitation and horrible hygiene. People didn't know any better, right? All of that and what people are living through is going to impact how society comes together and how much attention they're going to pay, or the ways that they're going to enact the power that they do and don't have in relation to politics. Our everyday social life is always tied up with politics and vice versa. And so what we're seeing in this time period is, especially in the Middle Ages, so we have, like I said, we have a lot of death, we have a lot of plague, people don't have time. Rhetorical theory becomes named as one thing, and that's it. And you're going to see that in the notes, and there's a video in there. And then when we get to Augustine and we get to Scholasticism, we have a shift and we start paying attention to rhetorical theory. But because the church is so essential to everyday life, the church becomes central to what rhetorical theory means, like literally how we define rhetoric and which theorists from the Greek times were using to define our rhetoric. And then as the church starts to lose power and science starts to gain power, so we're heading into humanism now, we again shift the fundamentals of how we define rhetoric. So do each of the names matter? No, you're gonna have to know the big ones. You need to know Augustine and you need to know Martin Luther. Those are the big ones. And Martin Luther, because I'm so opinionated on this, is so much more interesting and important to rhetorical theory because of the Gutenberg press, and I have a video on that so you can see it. So we're really paying less attention to names. You do not need to memorize these names. You do not need to regurgitate dates back to me. What you're looking at as you read through each of the elements, what was their contribution to what's going on? What is going on in political life? What is going on in social life? Where does that person fit? And then how do these three things come together to define rhetoric? This week and next week, we're really focusing on that interplay between those pieces. Your discussion questions are really going to center that, so pay attention to it this week. If you have questions while you're going through your guided notes, send me an email, come to office hours, Zoom with me during office hours, or set up an appointment. I'm happy to meet and talk through any of these pieces with you because I want you to succeed. I'll see you online.